and Mexico begin a long journey which they hope won't end for another 20 months. In a few minutes, we'll have the kickoff to the opening match of a series of playoffs which may earn one of the two teams today an invitation to the final round of the World Cup. Next to the Olympic Games, the World Cup is the biggest sports extravaganza in the world. For hundreds of millions of people outside North America, there is no greater honor and joy than having their country win the World Soccer Championship. The next World Cup will be played in Spain in 1982. And in order to be invited to the final round, teams must get through a complicated series of playoffs. As a soccer power, Canada is still gaining experience. It has never advanced past the second round. But the members of this year's team feel that that will change. The team lost only one of 7 exhibition games and is a more balanced team than the one which represented Canada 4 years ago. Certainly, there's no lack of confidence. The other day, Canada's goalkeeper, Tom Chersky, said, "If we play like we can, we'll really destroy them." Well, total annihilation isn't necessary. I'm sure most of the fans at Exhibition Stadium will be satisfied to see Canada win by whatever score. As I said, the game is the first in a round-robin series involving Canada, Mexico, and the United States, with the top 2 teams advancing to the next round. One final word. Following the soccer game, I urge you to stay with us for the rest of our program today. In the last hour, beginning at about 5 o'clock Eastern, that's approximate, we'll have a detailed account of this year's yacht race from Victoria, British Columbia to the island of Maui in Hawaii. I can tell you in advance that filmmaker Mike Boland has put together one of the best films on sailing you'll ever see. Also, for our many baseball fans, we'll pass along the latest on the 4th game in the World Series being played this afternoon. And right now, Kansas City is leading the Philadelphia Phillies 5-1 after 3 innings of play. Coming up, World Cup soccer playoffs, Canada versus Mexico, live from Exhibition Stadium in Toronto after this short break.
On a beautiful fall afternoon in Toronto, while most of North America is thinking and talking baseball and football, the spotlight here centers on another brand of football called soccer. This is a strange place to begin a trip to Spain, but for 22 members of Canada's World Cup team, Exhibition Stadium in Toronto is indeed where that journey begins. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Steve Armitage with a welcome to the opening game in Canada's World Cup qualifying round against Mexico. It's the first of a home-and-home series involving Canada, Mexico, and the United States, with the top 2 teams advancing to the second round next year. This year, over 100 nations will open qualifying for one of 24 positions in Madrid 2 years from now. And, of course, it's the dream of every soccer player in the world to someday appear in a World Cup final. In 1978 in Buenos Aires, in front of over 100,000 fans waving their blue and white banners, Argentina reached that pinnacle for the first time ever, defeating Holland 3-1 in overtime. That victory was the culmination of years of planning on the part of Argentina's finest soccer people and plunged the nation into days of wild celebration. Such is the magnitude of the World Cup in many parts of the country. Here in Canada, the closest we've come in the past to a berth in the final has been a position in the second round. The plans for 1982 were launched in Vancouver in early September. And this time around, Canada's chances are in the capable hands of head coach Barry Clark and a veteran of guiding Canada through the intrigue of international soccer, John McMahon. McMahon and Clark have selected their talent from a pool of 60 players, all from the North American Soccer League. And that includes a veteran like the Vancouver Whitecaps' Bob Lenarduzzi.
I think on paper we are a lot stronger, but then again the other 2, Mexico and the States, have come a long way as well in that time. I'm really looking forward to it. This time we've got a number of warm-up matches which we haven't had before, and we'll be able to put a side together that at least know each other going into the first qualifying game against Mexico.
Lenarduzzi wasted little time improving his goal-scoring abilities. The middle brother of 3 in professional soccer scored on a header against New Zealand. But his talents for Canada will be best utilized as an attacking fullback. Most of the goal scoring for Canada should come from players like Dale Mitchell. With talent-laden Vancouver, Mitchell had few chances of earning a starting position, but he's found a home with the Portland Timbers. Traditionally, the forward position and the midfield have been 2 of the weak spots in Canada's soccer efforts. But this time, with North American League and international youth experience behind them, the coaches are no doubt hoping the goals will go in, like they did against New Zealand. At the international level in soccer, there's a need for a powerful striker, and Canada has that in the person of Mike Stojanovic. So, with improvement up front and in the middle and a solid back four, Canada would appear to be on the right track.
Well, we more or less have the same nucleus, except we have 4 years under our belts now. We have more experience, we have more poise, and we've added the Mike Stojanovics and the Branko Segodas to give us a little more firepower. Dale Mitchell up front, Chino's still there, West, McLeod, Carmen, Mark Antonio. We got a fantastic nucleus of players, and anybody can do the job when they go in. So it's a great feeling for Barry Clark to have, really, this nucleus.
And, of course, this nucleus will center around this young man, Robert Irushi, the leader in the back four and the captain of Canada's World Cup side. With players the caliber of Irushi, Barry Clark has kept his coaching philosophy as simple as possible.
I believe that any team that wins a tournament, be it World Cup or what, it's not the team that scores the most goals, it's the team that makes the least mistakes. And I feel that my preparation that's coming up, that a good part of that is to remind these players of what constitutes a mistake. And I think that sort of statement or that concept is going to be the guiding concept through the next few weeks.
That philosophy worked almost perfectly in the exhibition series. Canada's only loss came at the feet of the Irish All-Stars. But in Game 2, the young Canadians found revenge, due in large part to the scathing remarks from the Irish manager, who said Canada lacked the heart to be a good World Cup side. They proved him wrong in this game. In the exhibition series, Clark learned that his team could go shoulder to shoulder with the tough Irish and New Zealand style of play and handle the finesse and quickness of a top South American team. Clark wants a club that can run with the best. They have to be fit. But he also needs a team that won't panic in the tight situations afforded only by World Cup soccer. Of course, it helps when players like Mike Stojanovic score goals in bunches. And that even has the manager, John McMahon, smiling from ear to ear.
I'm very optimistic. I'm always optimistic. And if I'm not, I don't know how the players or the rest of the staff will be. Yes, I think we can get through. I won't say definitely we will, but I think we've got one great chance. Better than we've ever had before.
Stojanovic was still working his magic against Sporting Cristal, one of the top club sides in Peru. And while Stojanovic scores with his head, Branko Segoda does his damage with a shot, the envy of many players around the world.
We got a couple of guys, two guys that are 28, 29. We got one guy that's 35, and in the middle of that we got a couple of youngsters, and I think we got lots of depth.
We'll find out this afternoon if that combination is right this time around. It's Game 1, Canada against Mexico, World Cup qualifying. The road to Spain begins at Exhibition Stadium in Toronto. This afternoon, as he's done since 1975, is Graham Leggett, a 25-time Scottish international, and now the vice president of the Edmonton Drillers in the North American Soccer League. Graham, are you as excited about Canada's chances as the Canadian Soccer Association seems to be?
Yes, I am. They've matured a lot in the last few years. This is going to be a very close game, and as usual, in a game of this importance, the first goal is the one that's really going to count. I think that if Canada is going to be successful, they really have to cut off the supply from Queller in midfield. If they give him room, he can just destroy a team. But Canada's up for this game. They've got lots of pride, so is the Mexicans. We'll see which team wins out on national pride.
Canada, in their white shirts, white shorts, and white stockings with the red numerals, have won the toss, and they'll be kicking off to the Mexicans in their green shirts, the white shorts, and the green stockings. So the World Cup qualifying round, Canada against Mexico, is underway. Tino Lettieri, a surprise starter in goal for Canada. Tony Chersky had played so well at that position throughout the exhibition series, but Barry Clark has elected to go with Tino Lettieri. First thrust into the Mexican zone by Canada. Branko Segoda lets it go. Jerry Gray pushes it through, looking for Dale Mitchell, who's wearing number 9. This is Segoda, number 19, over to Wes McLeod, wearing number 10. Referee for today's game is Luis Saez of Costa Rica. His linesmen are Eduardo Brantes and Carlos Alfero. Mexico now with an opportunity. Here's a cross, and it goes over the post and into touch. We'll have a goal kick for Canada. There's a look at the Canadian lineup. As we mentioned, Graham, what formation are they playing today?
Well, they play 4-3-3, and I think the three midfield players, McLeod, Strenicher, and Gray, are going to have the work cut out, because that's really where this game is going to be won and lost. If they can control midfield, then they've got a good chance of winning this game. They've got to hit the long ball, and it's not really too good a ball at this stage, because the Mexican defense is marking man-to-man very closely.
Segota lets it go to Mitchell. Mitchell being watched closely, tries to get it back in Planahan. Mendizabal off Segota. Segota, and a good goal! A brilliant play by Stojanovic.
Just an excellent header by Stojanovic, and that's why he's so dangerous. He's always looking for the ball. Full marks to Segota. He just wouldn't give up that ball. He was tackled. He hit a hard cross, and Stojanovic just deflected it right over the goalkeeper into the far corner. Just an excellent goal. Brilliant goal. And give full marks to Branko Segota for getting that ball over under tremendous pressure. Goalkeeper made an excellent attempt, and I think he hit his head when he came down on the turf. There was very little he could do with that ball dipping over his shoulder. And he made an excellent effort to just tip it over the crossbar, but just couldn't quite get to it. And what a time to get a goal just before you go in for halftime. That's soul-destroying.
Castro back in the middle to Luna, tried to flick it on. Here's a shot, a dangerous situation. Oh, and it's wide, but only by inches. Oh, Tino Lettieri is wiping his brow for good reason.
Good challenge by the Mexicans here. They're given time to turn. Just watch this ball chip through. The defender's wrong side of the attacker there, and this could well have been a goal. He hooks it, and it just goes past. I think Lettieri got his hand to it.
There's a hard shot. It's a goal! The Mexicans have tied the game. With a minute and 19 seconds remaining to play, Tino Lettieri was well beaten, had no chance whatsoever. The Mexicans tie it up. Always dangerous, and they showed us exactly why in the dying moments of this match here this afternoon.
Well, that's a tragedy for this young Canadian side. They deflected the ball, but they couldn't get it out of the danger zone, and when the shot happened, there were so many players there in the penalty box. It deflects off one, and Tino Lettieri is going the wrong way. It comes from this corner kick. The ball's deflected, but it's just deflected back into the danger zone. A hit and hope thing is deflected by, I would say, John McGrain and into his own goal, with Lettieri going for the original shot. A heartbreaker for Canada. That's really the first shot that Lettieri has had to handle, and it was deflected past him. And what a bad time with only about 25 seconds to go in the game. Mexico will slow it down now, keep possession. 1-1 for them is perfect.
Ayala being bothered by Wes McLeod. McLeod shoves Ayala, and Ayala appealing to the referee for a call, but it's not coming. Now he's telling Ayala to settle down. Mexicans appealing to the scoreboard. They say that time has run out, but that injury time has been added on. Mike Sweeney battling Castro. Sweeney, who came on late in the game as a substitute for Mike McClanahan. A disappointing finish for Canada, although a tie against the Mexicans is certainly no disgrace when you stop to think of how Mexico has dominated soccer in this zone for many, many years. And there goes the final whistle. The game is over. Canada has played to a 1-1 tie with Mexico.
And the big disappointment, because Canada had the edge as far as scoring goals. Tino Lettieri didn't really, although the shots were even, really have a shot to save during the game. And for a shot like that to beat him with 1 minute to go is a heartbreaker. This Canadian team, their heads are down at the moment, but they can be very proud of the performance they put up there. They took the game to Mexico. There's nothing to be ashamed of. It was a very creditable performance, and they can look forward now to going to Mexico City, because they're not afraid of Mexico now. They've shown that